There it is. All right, everybody. Welcome to This Week in Real Estate. I am Trent Denson, part of the J Harmon Home Team, stepping in for Jonathan today. Got a special guest, my guy Mike French. How are you, sir?
I'm well, man. Special guest.
Yeah.
I feel so much more honored to be here now that I'm the special guest.
You are very special, my friend.
Thank you.
A former guest of Table Talk and been on several. I mean, good friend of Jonathan. Y'all go back and everything. Team leader.
Yeah.
At KW Borough.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's get into This Week in Real Estate, man.
Let's do it.
All right. So I guess just give us a little update. How's the office? How are the agents feeling? I know it's a little up and down these days and all the stuff. So let's.
I think common pulse with most agents with fourth quarter was just like, what is happening?
Right.
I mean, I think if you hear that, you see it. And, every person that Jonathan's had in this podcast has somehow talked about what we all experienced in Q4. And so then looking at January and just seeing as interest rates came back and kind of we're into that what a lot of people are just calling the normalized,
right?
And just getting a feel for that, agents' productivity starting to kind of pick back up a little bit.
That's awesome.
We've noticed more listings going on market out of our agents out of the office, which is always exciting, is always incredible. And I think the root of that is just the activities, right? It's are agents truly lead generating? Are you really spending the time to work on and in your business? And that's been a huge focus for us going into this year.
Yeah, we've had a little gut check with the squad, with the team here.
Yeah.
Just exactly what you just said, the lead gen and just the getting back to the basics, right? I think a few of the more seasoned agents on our team have been talking, last couple of years, it was just...
It was easy.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say order taking.
It was 100% order taking.
Right.
I mean, you didn't have to really work that hard.
Yeah.
You could go stick a sign in the yard and the house would sell itself.
Right.
And so,
with a lot of offers.
Yeah.
Bidding war, all the things.
And so now I'm looking to move up and upgrade my house. And so looking at watching homes sitting on the market, some of these homes are dropping 50, 70. I saw a house granted, in Morrison, off the beaten path, but it dropped over $100,000.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, all right, maybe I should just go buy that house.
Yeah, right. That's
property taxes weren't the greatest because it's not, outside the county, but
still.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that and just knowing that agents have to go back to that. The grunt work, right? You have to carve out time to do both.
Right.
The agents who we've seen leave the business over the last 3 or 4 months of agents that some of them had great success in 2 years, but they didn't know any better.
Right.
And so then it's trying to teach and encourage them to do those activities, and some people just don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest stuff either. I mean, it's the non-glorious side or glamorous, I should say, the unglamorous side of. I mean, this stuff is hard. I mean, as
if
someone,
it was easy, everyone would do it,
bro. As someone that was, bounced around a lot, tried to find my spot in the world of this stuff. It's hard. It's really hard, and it's. I think a lot of it's fear. I'll be the first to say fear crept in quite a bit with me.
Yeah.
And what would you say to that? Just getting out of that.
It's tough. I mean, you have multiple different people, right? You have the agents that either their spouse makes enough money that if they don't sell a house, they're okay as they figure this out. Mm-hmm. And then you have some people that are sole providers and they have another job. Or I've got one guy who he texts me, he's like, Mike, I quit my job. I'm in 100%. Let's go. And he is not even licensed yet.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't even taken his exams, but he's in. So you have those different personalities and those different people.
That's awesome.
And fear, obviously. I mean, I got into this, I'm going 6.5 years now at this point, and I was brand new to Tennessee. I didn't know anybody here. My wife just said, hey, I got a job offer and we're moving. And I said, okay.
That sounds good.
I didn't know anybody.
Right.
It took me 6 months before
Where'd you come from again?
Northern California.
Oh, okay.
Before all the Californians came and ruined everything. I like to put that disclaimer in there. I wasn't part of the problem. But yeah, I didn't know anybody.
Right.
And so, yeah, there was fear.
Sure.
It's like, how do I do this? What do I say?
Right.
One thing I love about Keller Williams is that somebody took the time to tell me what to do.
They
said, all right, Mike, go do this,
Yep.
say this. When they say this, you say this.
Right.
And if they say no, make it a game. Then it became how many no's can I get before I get a yes?
I love that.
And then I even had a little whiteboard next to my desk, and it would be how many times somebody could curse me out on the phone. And I would just keep tally of this just for fun. Like I think I could get at least 5 today.
That's the best approach ever.
You have
I love that.
to, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're the type of person that when you get a no, you're defeated, man, real estate's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Or just even getting to that no,
Yeah. The fear of overcoming the process.
Yeah.
And that's why we encourage script practicing. And it's funny, our office has got 200 and almost 50 agents. And we encourage agents to script practice, yet a lot of them we don't. I mean, I don't think a lot of them do.
Right.
And yet that's a great opportunity for you to get better.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you make the analogy to an athlete who goes out there and practices every week to go perform on Sunday. It's the same thing, right? You would hope and encourage them to do those things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, fear is always going to be there.
That was some of the best feedback I've ever gotten. Seriously, I love that. Make it a game because I am super competitive.
Sure. If you gamify it, you will find those activities come so much easier.
Yeah.
And then be smart about your numbers.
Right.
I encourage everyone track your success. Mm-hmm. How much time do you spend calling or knocking on doors or messaging or texting, Instagram, whatever that is, however you're lead generating, how much time do you spend doing it? Mm-hmm. How many people do you talk to? How many say yes and how many say no? And so you know your conversion. So then you just know, like, if I only have to talk to 12 people before somebody says yes today, if that's where you start, then start with 1 appointment a day.
Right.
I promise, as a real estate agent, if you can set 1 appointment a day for a buyer or seller, you will crush real estate.
That's it. That is the whole game, right?
Because even if again, taking my own self, when I first started, I was garbage. I was learning, but I still didn't know what I was just winging it, right?
Yeah.
As we're doing today, we're just winging it.
Big winging.
Right, but you still figure out, like, okay, I have a 50% conversion rate. Even at 25%, if you're setting 5 appointments a week, you're crushing real estate.
That's really good, yeah.
So just know your conversion, know your numbers. I mean, and that's what the focus goes to.
There you go.
How long do I have to do this till I set an appointment, and then I can have the rest of my day?
That's so simple.
It is. One of my real estate friends on the West Coast, that was his thing. He's like, I would lead gen every day until I set 1 appointment. He said some days I felt like I was there all day. And some days I'd set my appointment in the first hour, and then I'd be like, great, I don't have any appointments. What do I have the rest of the do? Or what do I have to do for the rest of the day?
Nice. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
It's trying to simplify it, right? I mean, it's just trying to break something so big, because every real estate agent has goals. They have all these homes they want to sell, and they want to make all this money, and they want to have all this time and all this freedom. And while that's great, some agents believe that you're always on, there is no time off. I never believed that.
Right.
I believed that if I could do what I needed to do in a set amount of days and be happy with it, that's all I needed to do.
Right. That's incredible. So let's talk about I know we kind of mentioned it, things are kind of bouncing back, and people are talking about a window and kind of like it's back to
So you're seeing interest rates right around where they were pre-pandemic. From what I've seen so far and what I've talked to people, and so as that kind of gets back into what I hate the word normalizing. At the same time, as it gets back into that 5-ish% range, somewhere in that ballpark, it's just conversations.
Right.
You as an agent just have to talk to your people.
Let them know.
Buyers who jumped and hit the brakes at the fourth quarter because interest rate was 7%. I mean, I don't blame them. Hey, it's back. There's inventory in the market. We just looked at stats for Rutherford County, January over January. And so the listings taken are up. There's homes to be sold.
Right. Hang on one second. I gotta check something.
Technical difficulties? All this great content and you weren't even recording us. We have to start all over.
No, we're good. Okay. I just had a panic moment. Sorry. One-man production crew.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right. So where were we? So the window's there. There's inventory there. What else? I mean, it's back to kind of, I hate the word normalized too, but it's back to, sellers are paying closing costs here and there. There's concessions, all the stuff that was just not a thing.
I think that window is now, right? Where homes are still sitting on the market for 20-ish days, right? Or more. But
which was,
I think
crazy.
Average was sub 5 for a while.
Dude, that is wild. When you say it out loud, it's just
it's insane.
Yeah, okay.
And yet home values are still up too. So even though you're seeing price drops, I think from a data point, home values are still up. And what did we see prior to the pandemic was anywhere from for Rutherford County, I think it was 8 to 12%, equity growth year over year. And then, during those pandemic years, they had skyrocketed. And I think January's, was, high, what did I see? High 4s on growth. So, it's somewhat kind of what we were seeing before.
Right.
But that window of, hey, I can potentially get it for under list with all those things, I think that window's closing.
Right.
How long?
I hate no Magic 8 Ball, obviously, but just ballpark time frame on that. What do you think?
I think it just depends on how long interest. You see lenders that are doing all kinds of creative things with their financing.
The bounce backs and the
I love what Bryan and Primis are doing.
Primis.
Shout out to Primis. Yeah, for sure.
That's a sponsor of this episode, by the way. So shout out to Bryan and the team over at Primis.
Absolutely.
They're doing amazing things.
But they've got so many neat products available to your clients, and then they just reduced credit score qualifications again. Like,
really?
It's fantastic what you can do for buyers right now.
Do you know that off the top of your head? Okay, sorry. No pressure.
Bryan, if I say it wrong, I don't want to mess
you
up.
Call Bryan, folks.
I remember originally it was like 580. I think it's even lower than that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, he was probably like commenting on Facebook Live or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think that with that coming down, just as well as there's still a lot of those products, there's still sellers offering concessions. Like, that's why I'm in that spot where I'm like, okay, I want to pull the trigger now while I can, because I can get all these concessions, and then if interest rates dip later on, then I'll just refinance.
Right. And they got those. I mean, the bounce back thing, I think,
is
waiving a bunch of the fees.
I know Primis is doing that. But there's other lenders that are doing the same thing.
Yeah. So. Lots of opportunity right now, folks. What about like on the investment side? Kind of same thing, right?
I would imagine. I mean, I think it's just finding the inventory for it, finding the people that are willing to do it.
Right.
I think it probably was tougher for investors for those 2 years. I helped an investor build a portfolio 2 years ago, and now we're going back through and reevaluating, looking at his growth and deciding, does he want to sell and move to something else and pick up a different project? But I mean, we bought 9 houses over the course of 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
Man.
In one day, I wrote 9 contracts, which, I mean, for me, that was big time. And like, I've never done that much business in one day.
Dude, but that's a year.
For a lot of agents, right? That's more than the average.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was fantastic to be able to do that. But, he had a goal.
You got 9 contracts signed in one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9 homes under contract.
I'm gonna add some applause.
Yeah.
In post, man. That is unbelievable. Wow.
It was fun though. Like it was that was an exciting piece. Is helping somebody. Yeah.
Cloud 99.
Oh yeah. Cloud commission checks. I was capped at that point, so I was just loving 100% of that money.
Oh my gosh, bro. Good for you.
It did a lot for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it made a lot of things happen. But it was exciting to help them build that portfolio. And so you've got a few agents that are investors, and there's still opportunities that pop up. I think it's just finding it.
Yeah.
Gosh, part of it is social media. You see a lot of, in my role, I get to talk to a lot of either agents or prospective agents. And man, wholesaling is, I think I have that conversation twice a day with agents. Just, I want to wholesale. And they see it on social media.
Yeah.
They see those guys on TikTok and YouTube.
It's not even hard.
They're making $30K by flipping a contract.
Right.
And for me, like, hey, if you wholesale, no knock into wholesaling. Like, you make your money and live life. But I feel like wholesaling is just not, I don't know. I don't like it.
I know what you mean. I get that. 100%.
And so it's just crazy to see that. So I think from an investor standpoint, there's still opportunity out there.
For sure.
Having a savvy agent to help you find it is probably a big piece of that, and understanding, even if you're buying a house at market price and you're going to turn into a rental, what are your cap rates? What can you expect to make on those properties?
That's it, man. That's it. Good stuff. Talk to us about KW.
Man. All kinds of great things.
I know. I got it. Talk to us.
Probably my favorite thing that we're doing right now is for all of our producing agents that are over a certain threshold of volume, they get to be a part of a totally free concierge easy button program.
Wow.
We call it The Experience.
Love that.
And so it has a couple of different levers to it that really make it to where you can kind of just set it and forget it, like let it automate for you. One of them is all of your campaigns for your, we call smart plans through Command, through your CRM for drip campaigns. It's all automated.
Wow.
So somebody gets in there, helps go through it, set them all up on those drip campaigns, and then lets it run.
Nice.
There is a mastermind education component to it. We have a wealth event coming up actually this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Brett Tanner, he's very high up in our Keller Williams world. He's doing a mastermind on how to get to 50 million in net worth, that's big numbers, right?
That's big numbers. Yeah.
Yet as somebody who's done it, now he's laying out a path and laying out framework for agents at Keller Williams to be a part of that community and be able to figure that out. So we're super stoked for the event on Wednesday.
Yeah, plug it away. We got Sarah Stevens was on last week. Her episode's live today, by the way.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
Go check chock full of good stuff.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure she talked.
She's a beast. It was impressive. Shouts to you, Sarah. Thank you for everything.
One of the most intelligent people when it comes to real estate and just the world of being a leader and being an owner and being invested in the agent's success through those programs. One of the best people I've ever got to work alongside.
It was a pleasure hearing and just listening
you look back at your past bosses in life as you've kind of grown and definitely can say she's a contender for top spot.
Wow,
With
that's a big.
Just the passion about success.
Yeah, you can't fake that. It was very real, very
there's
evident.
some power commanding when that when the words start flowing.
That's accurate. That's accurate. That's
yeah,
accurate.
100%. So yeah, that event's
to
super
share.
excited. If you're interested, hit us up, man. We'd
It's
love to
Wednesday at
you.
9 in Nashville.
9 in Nashville,
somewhere.
1410.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
1410, 9 and yeah, tickets are still available, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
we still have agents that haven't jumped on it. So if you're thinking that you might be interested, let us know. We'll get you connected.
Please reach out.
So that's a great piece of it. And those masterminds are once a quarter, big ones like that. And then there's other events that are tailored throughout the year for just education for producing agents. Because a lot of brokerages, their education a lot of times just revolves around those kind of the middle of the group agents. And so looking at how can we provide value in education for our top producing agents? So that's a big piece of it. Relationship management. So they're doing a client event a year for you, which is exciting, right? No money out of pocket for you. They'll send out all the invitations. We have 2 people that are heading up this kind of division within our ownership group. But they'll send out all the invitations for you. They'll organize it. They'll get it all set up. More marketing. So a lot of realtors are doing that email blast. We actually have a higher click open rate from Keller Williams than most of the other realtors do. I think the average is right around 24%. I think we're sitting around 43%.
Wow.
So the open rate is a lot better with us. So that's a nice statistic to know that, hey, when you're coming over and doing those e-blasts with Keller Williams, you're getting a better open rate.
Man, that's quite significantly better.
It's a big jump. It's a big jump. And you get them. I mean, I get them all day long. I see them, but just knowing that ours are impacting that well. We're doing a full marketing suite for agents. So all content development for social media, all of their branding. If they don't have a logo, we'll help create a logo. And then there's templated themes. I think we'll be like 15 themes that you can pick a templated theme so all of your marketing stays consistent.
Yes.
So it all looks the same, however you want it to look. And then all that marketing is done for you.
Man,
and
that's a lot, man.
Well, there's more. But there's more.
ShamWow.
If you get OxyClean right now. R.I.P. mayonnaise. So my favorite one that we do is a component around wealth. And so helping agents really truly understand how to run their business like a business.
Yes.
We partner with a company called RE Profit, and they're going in and just helping agents understand, here's my P&L in real time at all times. There's a profit assistant, so you connect your bank account. Hopefully, realtors, you're using a dedicated bank account, not commingling your funds, and if you use a credit card, it's solely for your business. But you can connect those accounts, and then a profit assistant will help you categorize all your expenses.
Dang.
So you can know exactly what you're spending money on and where you're spending it, and then run an ROI report. So you can see all of your, you help a referral close, you can categorize that check as a referral. Maybe you get an online lead, you categorize as an online lead. So then you can see when you run your ROI report, okay, where are the most of my clients coming from? So I know to take my marketing budget and reinvest in that.
Right. Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's all provided for free.
Wow.
As long as you're above a certain threshold of producing agent.
Gotcha.
And that threshold's really low. We want to make it easy for agents. We want to be able to help you leverage. That's a big piece of our business, is being able to leverage.
Yeah.
It goes back to that time conversation. A lot of agents think you have to be on all the time. If you can figure out how to leverage and figure out how to really just focus on the activities in that set amount of time. My last 2 full years and my last 4 years full-time selling real estate. Now I was broker last year and team leader, so I didn't sell much last year. But prior to that, I had a little girl, and so I got to be at-home dad 3 days a week with her.
That's
My wife
amazing.
worked 3 days a week as a nurse, and I took Sunday off. So I only worked real estate really 3 days.
Wow.
But in 3 days, I sold 22 and 25 homes.
That's impressive.
And so it was just focusing on, I have to crush this day so that tomorrow I can be dad.
That's so...
I didn't miss first steps. I didn't miss first words. We colored, we drew, we did all the fun things together.
Bro.
I missed a lot of that with my older boy, and now we're making up time there. And so just knowing as an agent, you don't have to be on all the time.
Right.
And it's figuring out the leverage. And now Keller Williams is offering this leverage piece to agents.
That's awesome, man.
And then the other thing we're doing, I have to give a plug to this one too. It's called the 201 Club.
Yep.
So KW went and did a study, and we found that agents using our database system we call Command, and have their clients on smart plans and neighborhood nurture plans. If they have at least 201 contacts on those plans, the average return is $119K a year.
That's insane.
For just 201 contacts.
Wow.
So there's a lot of agents that their database is usually stuck in their phone or an Excel sheet, or maybe they have a CRM provided by their brokerage, or they pay for a separate one. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
We just found within our own system, if you're utilizing at least 201 contacts in command on those plans, the average return for agents is $119K.
Wowzers.
So then that conversation becomes really easy with an agent is how many people do you have in there? And if you don't, would you like to make this much more money? Let's get them on plans, because the system is leverage. It's doing all the work for you. And then they're just saying, hey, Trent, you sent me this email 6 months ago. I'm ready to buy a house. And you're like, man, I remember that email.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. That one email. Yep. That was me.
I remember that one exactly. I remember typing it to you.
That's amazing.
So yeah, just some exciting things that we've got going on. There's a lot of fun things happening at KW. We're always looking to grow. And that's every brokerage that want to grow, but we want to grow because we know that we're a place that offers agents the opportunity to thrive in their business.
That's amazing.
We're teaching people how to truly run businesses like business owners. Yes, we have leads. Yes, we have all those other things. But really, when it comes down to those core pieces of just teaching people how to truly be entrepreneurs, that's my favorite thing that we're doing.
Man.
And we're also trying to grow further south too, which is even more exciting. So if you've listeners or anyone that's down in the southern middle part of Tennessee, we're coming.
Hey, that's exciting. Well, Mike, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the stuff you do, and KW has been amazing to me over the years. And Jonathan,
you're never allowed to leave now. We'll keep this on recording. So if you ever say, Mike,
that's a lot of pressure.
It's always good feedback to hear, right? Yeah. Because as a team leader, I show up, and my goal every day is to meet with people, get them to come to KW and consult with people, and try to make sure that we're delivering a great experience for agents.
That's it, man.
And so lately I've been getting a lot of feedback. We had somebody come over from another brokerage that just said, Mike, look, if you fail at real estate and you're at Keller Williams, it's because you didn't take advantage of what's offered. Because literally there is so much, there's no way you could not succeed at real estate. And that to me was like, it was humbling to know that we're running a company and helping a company like that grow. And at the same time, it was like, heck yeah, like now who else needs to hear that message?
Well, you just got a heck of a clip right there, man. Clip that one out and we'll send it over.
Perfect. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for jumping on. I know you're a busy man, and
thanks for having me. I was excited.
Yeah.
I loved when Michelle asked me, hey, can you do this? Yes, I can't do it this day. I can't do this, but I can definitely do it. It's always fun.
Absolutely.
I look forward to it.
Well, thank you for everything. As always, big shout out to Bryan Nale and Primis, the team over at Primis, all the great folks over there. As Mike mentioned, they have a lot of amazing programs right now to kind of alleviate some of those, stressors that might be coming with interest rates and all that. So be sure to reach out to Bryan. His contact's in the caption. If you need help with anything real estate, please reach out to the J Harmon Home Team. I'm Trent Denson stepping in for our fearless leader today.
I hope this video gets more views, because if it doesn't, be like, all right, Jonathan.
Hey, you might just need to hand over the reins. No, Jonathan's an incredible guy. We're super lucky to have him as a leader and as a just a friend and a supporter of all things Spread the Positive. So hope you feel better, and we will jump off. Thanks again, Mike.
Absolutely, sir. Thanks for having me.